I simply can't imagine the last 8 years without Nancy. The presidency wouldn't have been the joy it's been for me without her there beside me. And that second floor living quarters in the White House would have seemed a big and lonely spot without her waiting for me every day at the end of the day.
Romeo had his Juliet, Antony had his Cleopatra, and Ronald Reagan had his beloved Nancy. In this video podcast, we take a look at President and Mrs. Reagan's legendary love story. Charlton Heston once said, "Theirs was probably the greatest love affair in the history of the American presidency." What began as a meeting between two movie stars became a real-life love story worthy of their own Hollywood movie. They were two famous figures, and even from the beginning, their relationship was played out on a very public stage. First, they were a well-known Hollywood couple, and in a world where romance often cannot survive the attention or temptations that are part of the lifestyle, theirs thrived. Then, as Ronald Reagan entered the political arena, the couple grew only stronger. They were a couple intensely devoted to one another. They were always holding hands. Ronald Reagan visibly lit up when she entered the room. Their devotion to each other seemed at times too good to be true, and some along the way would doubt their sincerity. But there was nothing disingenuous about the Reagans and their obvious affection for one another. Theirs was a genuine love affair. They never took each other for granted, and it has been said that they never stopped courting. During a Larry King interview, Merv Griffin once said of the Reagans, "They were never without each other, and when they went to Washington and she was sort of criticized or a little bit laughed at for her adoring looks at him, well, those are real. And that's the way they are in private. I watched them on long walks. I watched them on the beach in the Bahamas. There was a lot of hand-holding and talking to each other. They are two people who are very, very much in love." They truly could not bear to be apart. Ronald Reagan wrote over 700 letters, cards, and notes to his wife, many illustrated with charming cartoons of his own creations. And she left behind notes and cards for him to find while she was away. In a letter to Nancy Reagan on their 31st wedding anniversary, he wrote, "I more than love you. I'm not whole without you. You are life itself to me. When you are gone, I'm waiting for you to return so I can start living again." The letters and notes span their entire life together. In this February 1977 Valentine's message, he wrote of her, "Feel you should know more about her. For one thing, she has two hearts, her own and mine. I'm not complaining. I gave her mine willingly and like it right where it is." Many years later, when Nancy Reagan published some of the love letters she received from her husband in a book called I Love You, Ronnie, she wrote, "If either of us ever left the room, we both felt lonely. People don't always believe this, but it's true. Feeling the loneliness, completing each other, that's what it still meant to us to be husband and wife." In a tribute to his wife on the occasion of their 40th wedding anniversary in 1992, Ronald Reagan said, "I'll always be grateful that Nancy was at my side along my chosen trails. With Nancy, I soon realized my life was complete. Without her, nothing was impossible." Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this Inside the Reagan Library video. See you soon!